While the news of a potential vaccine is good and the news of several potential vaccines even better, in all of this, we cannot forget that the vaccine is not the end of the Wuhan virus pandemic. It is not the silver bullet to the Wuhan virus. In August this year, the World Health Organization said that a vaccine will be a quote-unquote vital tool in the global fight against the virus, but it will not end the pandemic on its own. There are three things that we must remember here. One, like every other virus, the Wuhan virus will also mutate. The SARS-CoV-2 is an RNA virus, so like flu and measles, the Wuhan virus is also more prone to changes and mutations. While a potential vaccine is likely to take into account vast majority of Wuhan virus strains, say a random mutation occurs somewhere down the years, then the vaccine may cease to be effective. Point number two, the Wuhan virus is communicable, meaning it can be transmitted from one person to another. So while a quarter or half of the population, say, is vaccinated against the virus over the next couple of years, the remaining population will still remain at the risk of catching the virus and transmitting it. So it comes down to this. Going forward, social distancing and masks will remain the norm. Other lifestyle changes brought about by the pandemic remain too. And finally, you and I will have to learn to live with this virus, at least for some time now. Here's another thing. We do not know how long the immunity is going to last. We also don't know the long-term effects of the vaccine. I mean, just have a look at the timeline. The Wuhan virus was first detected in December in China. At least that's what the officials say. The first case outside China was recorded on the 13th of January. Between the 11th and 12th of February, the WHO convened a research and innovation forum on the Wuhan virus. On the 18th of March, a solidarity trial was launched with the aim of generating data to find the most effective treatments for the Wuhan virus. It is November now, so drug makers had less than a year to develop the vaccine. Under normal circumstances, it takes up to 10 years to develop a vaccine. The discovery and research stage alone takes 2 to 5 years. That period was cut short. Potential Wuhan virus vaccines went into clinical trials as early as March 17. That's just 3 months into the discovery of the virus. The speed at which researchers and pharma companies responded to the pandemic is unprecedented. And while that is remarkable, it also leaves room for future risks. There has not been enough time to test the side effects of the vaccine. We know that a candidate X or a candidate Y does not show side effects after 2 weeks of being administered. But what if there are side effects after, say, a year? These are questions we do not have answers to. And these are hurdles that remain. That said, there is no reason to not celebrate the potential vaccines. They may not end the pandemic, but they are the most powerful weapon till date in this battle against the Wuhan virus. And it will be unfair to expect that this weapon, the vaccines, will come free of cost. Like I mentioned, it takes 10 years to develop a vaccine. Given the situation, drug makers have expedited the process and have delivered potential vaccines in a fraction of that time, less than 1/10, to be close to precise. Drug makers have pooled in all their resources in the middle of a pandemic to come up with a vaccine. It takes approximately $500 million to develop a vaccine. Drug makers are estimated to have spent around $1 billion to develop a Wuhan virus vaccine. While there should be no milking of this health crisis, expecting drug makers to sell at cost price or below cost price would be unfair and could snatch incentives from future rapid vaccine discovery.